At the Home Depot Center, we do have something special for you. You see a lot of bravery at X Games, and now you're going to see some true courage. This is all about the human spirit. Super X Adaptive. 6 amputees, 6 paraplegics. They race the Super X. And with me is Doug Henry, who in Supermoto won the gold, won the bronze, and then you suffered a life-changing event.
Yeah, Paul, in 2007, I was warming up at a supermoto race down in Florida, and unfortunately, I went down and hit a wall and ended up in a wheelchair myself.
So ready to race now are 12 incredible human stories, and here's just one. Mike Schultz. You watch him in Winter X, in Snowcross. 5 different times he's appeared there. And then last December in an accident, he lost most of his left leg. Mike Schultz is on the line.
I knew instantly it was bad. We were going into the second round of the ISOC National Snowcross Tour. Yeah, we were about halfway into the race. You know, I went back and forth and, kind of stuck my leg out, just kind of instinct. I ended up landing on my left leg with all my weight and my knee locked, and it just exploded. It hurt so bad because it actually flung up and kicked me in the chin, and it was laying across my chest when I stopped laying, and I pushed it back. I was just freaked out.
At one point in that ER room, it just looked horrible. My request to the doctor was, please wake him up. I need Mike to know what our decision is. There's no way I could explain to him that his leg is gone.
It's easier to start from scratch than it is to drag a junk limb around.
It'll just come natural. Your knee's already bending for you, so that's good.
After a week or two, I started to feel better. I'm like, well, I'm definitely going to get back on the snowmobile again. Maybe not racing, but, I was thinking I was going to have to sell the motocross bike. Fired it up and took a few laps out. With my regular everyday walking knee, it wasn't able to hold my weight up or anything. My leg was falling off the foot peg and swinging around. I'm like, well, you have to figure something out here. But it just might work. I had done a bunch of research on knee units that were out there for high impact sport. There just wasn't anything out there that worked the way I wanted it to. And so I have a pretty good grasp on what it needed to do. I'm going to build my own. I grew up on a farm, so we had a big shop at the farm to work on all the equipment and stuff. So I started welding and putzing with stuff at a real early age. Doing that for the last how many years has set me up pretty well to deal with this situation. I was able to start ripping on the bike right away.
When I saw him out on our track for the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, he can do this. I was just as excited for him to be back out there doing it again.
What really kicked me into overdrive was finding out about the adaptive motocross for X Games that had run last year. And I'm like, all right, now I have a goal. And after riding for a while, I'm like, well, I want a medal. I want to win it. I'm going to take this crappy situation and see what I can do with it and make something good come out of it. Maybe get one of them medals in my hand yet, I've been trying for so long in the snowcross stuff, so maybe in this one I'll get a medal finally.
And just 7 months after that injury, the 27-year-old from Minnesota is on the line here. There are some others that he'll have to contend with. Right next to him, Chris Ridgway, 38 years old, an amputee. He won the gold medal at this event last year as a demonstration. And Ricky James, he races. He's in the Ironman, and he races the Baja Desert Race. Let's look at the whole group of 12 as we get ready to go. First time ever for these guys on national television. I got to tell you, they are really pumped about it.
I think for these guys, this is the best thing that's going to happen to them, and for anybody out there who's watching, anybody who has a disability, these guys got to give you, so much energy and so much strength to go out there and follow what you want to dream.
And over on the right side of the line, there's some of the key guys. Schultz, James, Ridgway. We're ready to go. The gate's ready. The racers are ready.
And they're off. It's going to be a tight first turn over a jump. I've never seen that in a race where they had a tabletop halfway down the start straight.
Ridgway has the lead right now.
Looks like Mike Schultz is on the inside, and I think we're going to have ourselves a race here for the amputees.
That's 60. That's Harashida. And he has just dropped back a little bit. Woods and Schultz. Woods on 7 and Schultz on 5 are getting ready to do some battle. Number 1, that's Ridgway.
Jason Woods and George Hammel are having a good battle themselves. Jason lost some fingers and some toes due to a disease that he had. And George Hammel is a incomplete paraplegic. That means he still has feeling and a little bit of function below his level of injury.
Now, you suffered your injury, and the good news is just last Saturday, you got back on a bike. What was that like?
It was very thrilling for me to get out there. The fear of falling is one thing. You know, not being able to put your foot out, it's really, you know, it's really scary at first, but once you start getting comfortable with it, you know, you get into a flow and a rhythm.
And Kristen, Mike Schultz runs in 2nd place. You can add.
That's right. Mike Schultz is coming up just behind him in 2nd.
It looks like on this side,
he's
Kristen,
looking at his leg, and he's having problems when it comes out of the foot peg. He can't feel it to get it back in, so he's actually got to physically put it back in there. And he's also worried about that knee coming loose. Could be a problem.
Yeah, I think he came up short on one of the jumps, and it popped out. And exactly like you said, it looks like he struggled through this whole rhythm section to try to get his foot back in there. I think that's going to cost him a lot.
Keeping an eye on the number 5 of Schultz. Ridgway is number 1. This is what we saw earlier. See how his leg comes out?
Yeah, it's got to be tricky for him because not being able to feel that, I'm sure he senses it in his upper thigh that his leg, something's just not right. So he took a little look down, he saw that it was out, and he got it back in as soon as he could.
You know, and a lot of people who see this look at some of these issues like that, or you may even see them lose one of their prostheses as a problem. It's not, is it?
It was interesting talking to Mike early.
Now take a look at this. This was just a moment ago. Wow.
Oh, it looks like that was that George Hammel. Just kind of lost the front end in that corner there. It stuck a little bit. It high-sided him. It looks like he's okay, though.
Boy, you ever seen courage? I mean, this is incredible. That's Ridgway. He's the leader.
Chris Ridgway's got a lot of experience. He won the 07, 08, and 09 extremity games. So he's been riding with this disability for quite a while now. He's got a lot of experience.
We suggested won the demonstration last year.
It knocks the breath out of him
And you heard Kristen there. We apparently just had the breath knocked out of him, and he's going to get back.
That's good to see. You know, the difference between the amputees and the paraplegic, there's quite a bit out there. You know, with the bikes themselves, the amputees, they got to figure out a way to get themselves to stay on the bike and get control of the bike without having that extra limb and the feeling. And the paraplegics, they need to set their bikes up quite a bit different. Most of these guys out here are running a recluse clutch, which is, it's like an automatic clutch that allows the riders to not have to worry about the clutch during shifts. So they still have to shift the bike, but the automatic clutch will allow them to go through a corner where they don't have to pull the clutch in and worry about that. And that enables them to free up their hand to put on a handbrake. And so they have a handbrake on their left side and shifters on the right and left side and a front brake, and away they go.
And you saw the leader a moment ago. Now we look back for Mike Schultz. Get a view there of number 19. You've been talking about him.
Looks like we've got another rider down.
Well, down and right back up, it appears. As Hirotita. But Mike Schultz did so well in snowcross. Intends at least hopes to go back to that. Here he is 7 months after losing his left leg to several inches above the knee.
He's doing well. It looks like he's staying within Ridgway's sight. I think he's got him in his sight. And as long as he doesn't lose him, I think that we might be able to see him close up a little bit.
Back to the leader, Ridgway. He's got a bit of an advantage right now. And you can see one of the things they did here, Doug, is they have a lot of extra help on the course because a lot of these guys can't get up on their own.
Once they go down, you know, there's most of them will stay down, especially the paras, the paraplegics. They're you know, down
Sorry, man. Checker just
Checker
suddenly
flag.
jumped out on us there. Maybe should have been paying more attention to the 5-lap lap count.
Yeah, he threw his leg
Ridgway.
out there. I don't know if that was his good one or his bad one, but he did a trick for us. That was good.
And Schultz comes across to take the silver, and Woods, Jason Woods, takes the bronze. Well, Kristen, what do you got for us?
All right, Chris Ridgway, you took the gold last year in the demo. You came back to defend it on national TV. What does this second gold medal mean to you?
It means a lot. I worked hard for this all year long. I'm tired, but I don't think I breathed the whole time I was out there. That was awesome. I did what I needed to do. I worked hard, and I'm glad, you know, it paid off. So everybody's interviewing Mike, and I'm thinking, man, am I not a player here? But now I got the gold again. I'm real happy.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yep, gold in the demonstration last year, again this year. And there is Ricky James, and there is Mike Schultz. Let's take a look at a couple of replays during the running for you. This is the start.
Looks like Chris Ridgway just had the inside there. Looks like he was actually peeking over at the starter.
Yeah, and he really muscled Schultz over to the side. All fair, all good. Irachita dropped into second.
Yeah, it looks like he just got a little bit sideways on the landing, and you know, he doesn't have the strength to correct the bike. Once the bike starts to get away from him, it's really hard to get back control again.
And Ridgway controlled the race right from the time he took the lead and takes the checker, and with it the gold. So 2 golds for Chris Ridgway, 38 years old, an amputee, and he takes the win here. So I hope you see something about the human spirit there. Sal, this is a nice experience for us. And we hope to see him again and again. Now we send it all right back to you.
Thank you so much, Paul Page. One word for that, and that is inspiring.